Welcome to the Towne program lead card footage. This is the second stop in the Dynamic Discs Dirty Dozen Tour, played in McKinney, Texas. The players for this round are Crispin Carrasco, Matt Hall, Silliman, and JD Ramirez. Alright, we start with hole 1, which was played at the A pin at 275 feet. And here's the results from your first round. Crispin Carrasco with a 2-stroke lead over Matthew Hall and JD Ramirez, and a 3-stroke lead over Silliman. We'll have to see if Crispin Carrasco was able to hold on to that lead. Matt Hall with a nice throw down the middle. There's quite a bit of trees in this course that you really have to try to navigate through. It was cold that day, probably around the mid-30s, and I'm sure this is going to affect the players. JD Ramirez with his first throw off the first tee box. Nice straight down the middle. Bounces off that tree. Silliman. He did a lot of work getting this course prepared, and he should be really, if you ever play with Silliman, he's a very good guy. Oh, he hits off the tree as well. Silliman with a nice park on his second throw. Just right over the top. Not bad though. He should be able to put that in. Matt Hall with his birdie. Crispin Carrasco gets it in for his par. Silliman with his par. This is JD's third throw, which gives him par on this hole. Hole 2 at 432 feet. Matt Hall up on the tee box as he throws a nice roller. Next up is Crispin. He doesn't try the roller, he tries to go straight through. Oh, smacks right into a tree. JD Ramirez lining himself up. JD sends it down the line. Misses the trees. Bounces back. Oh, and then rolls. That's actually going to be pretty darn close. Silliman, maybe this, oh, hits a tree right there. Matt Hall with the second throw bounces hard off of a tree over to the left. You notice Crispin Carrasco's got the one glove on. It was pretty cold that day. Good catch, Crispin. Lost his footing there and stopped himself. Nice straight throw. That's going to be a little bounce away from the basket. That's going to be maybe about a 25-30 foot putt. Silliman kind of in the same area, maybe not quite as far as Crispin did. JD Ramirez getting his footing. It's a little off to the right. That's actually, but that's in good putting distance for JD. Ron Silliman with his third throw and hits it right off the basket. JD sets himself up for his putt. This should make him good for 3. Yeah, no problem, JD, getting it in there. Crispin Carrasco, and puts it into, gets himself a 3 as well. Oh, Matt Hall. Bounces right off. He's gonna... He'll be able to tap it in right there. There's Silliman. He's gonna have to take his 4, and Matt Hall, he'll have to take his 5 on this one. Alright, next we got hole 3, and this one's at 316 feet. Crispin Carrasco and JD Ramirez tied it even right now. A little roll away from the basket, not the direction you want it to go. JD Ramirez whips it out there. Goes a little high there. Comes back down. A little kind of out there too, out there with Crispin. Ron takes his throw. That's not a bad position. Matt Hall looks like he's going for the roller. Yeah, he's rolling it. And it looks like it's going to turn the way he wants it to. Nice roll, too. Oh, yeah. That worked out good for him. Crispin going with his second throw. Not bad. JD Ramirez with his second throw. Puts it up there. Parks it real nice. Ron takes his chance with it. Another nice park job. Looks like Matt's going to try to go for the 3 and hits the basket. Maybe a couple inches more and he would have had it. Crispin with his third throw. Oh, bounces off the top. Ron taps his in for the 3. Matt Hall with a 3. Crispin's going to have to settle for 4. JD Ramirez also got a 3 on this hole. Alright, we move on to hole number 4. This isn't the shortest hole, but it is one of the shorter ones at 170 feet. JD Ramirez pulls himself out of into the lead by 1 stroke. Does a really nice job, sets it right up there. That's got to be for an easy birdie. You see Ron Silliman's taking it to the basket. Oh, smacks right on a tree and knocks it the other way. Matt Hall with a nice line. Oh, that tree gave him some tree love. Knocked it closer to the basket. He should be able to birdie that one. Crispin whips it out there, and it looks like, oh, I thought it was going to go in the creek. I don't know if that was OB or in the creek or what. Matt Hall with a nice birdie. Crispin with this second throw. Hits the pin, but a little too low. Ron with his second throw. Bounces off the top. JD going for his birdie. JD taking his time. And puts it in for the birdie. Ron will toss his in for his 3. And Crispin puts it in, and he's going to have to settle for a 4 on this hole. We move on to hole 5, which is the shortest hole at 167 feet. JD with the lead. Nice straight line. Settle down, and that's going to be a nice birdie. From what I see, I'm going to think that everybody's probably going to take that same line just straight toward the basket. I don't think there's very much turns or curves in this particular one. Just a few obstacles with trees. Ron shoots it through there. Now, I don't know if you heard it. Sounded like it hit maybe a couple branches, but didn't stop it. Crispin goes a little high, hits a tree bark, a tree limb, but they're all really in comfortable distances for birdies. Crispin going for his birdie, makes it in. Ron sets himself up for his birdie. Gets ready. Oh, almost went over on the other side. That was pretty close. Matt taking a step and then going for it. Getting his birdie. And of course, JD Ramirez. This should be no problem for JD to get that birdie. And that's 2s all around for everyone on hole 5. Hole 6 is going to be 311 feet at the B pin position. JD Ramirez with still a 1-stroke lead over Matt Hall. JD gives it a nice toss. Gets right up, comfortable position. Probably a good 15 feet. Matt Hall takes his try. Sends it down the line. Well within birdie distance for Matt Hall. Ron takes his throw. Smacks right into that tree stump. Looks like 3 trees grown out of 1 or something. Crispin with his goes a little higher than everybody else. Hits a few branches that knocks it up and then pushes it back down. And I don't know if that's considered OB or not. It's pretty close to the creek, but I don't see any of the strings. They're usually really good at putting out strings on here to show the OB. I don't see any here, so I'm not sure if that's going to be considered OB or not. It shouldn't be OB since it didn't hit any of the water. Crispin lobs it back up there to the basket. Ron Silliman after hitting the tree. This is his second throw. Oh, and smacks into the other tree. Going for his third throw. And puts it in there nice. Good save on that three. This will be Matt Hall attempting the birdie, and he gets it.
I'm just gonna throw him hard. I'll probably have one or two.
JD Ramirez trying to make sure he's sure-footed, and that's something I have noticed with JD is that he does take his time to make sure that his footing is sure, that his stance is sure, and before he attempts any of his putts. And it's in. Looked like taking his time paid off for him. That'll be a birdie for JD. This will be Crispin's third throw. And he shoots it right through. Not good. Looks like he was maybe a little, frustrated from that throwing it near the water, but and that goes in for 4. He'll take a 4 on this one. This is hole 7, and we got hole 7 at 420 feet. JD Ramirez, top of the card. Smacks hard into a tree and bounces back. Man, Hall probably wiping some of the mud off of his discs. It was pretty muddy out there. Matt Hall with his roller. Skips up hard. Keeps rolling. Keeps rolling. Looks like it's going to turn. That's not going to be too bad. Probably would have wanted it to roll a little bit longer before it died there. Ron throws his, hits a couple branches, dies down right there. That should be an okay position for Ron. Crispin winds up, takes the throw. It's going to look like it's going to make some nice distance without hitting any branches. Bounces up a little bit. JD going with his second throw after smacking hard into that tree. JD taking his time, make sure he doesn't have anything on the ground in his way as he takes his throw. Gets around all the trees. Ron going for his second throw. Sits it up there. That should be good for a 3. Crispin having to do a little stretching to get himself around that tree. Hits that tree. I don't know if hitting that tree was such a bad thing the way it was heading to the right of the basket. Matt Hall with his second throw. Gets it right up on there. Yeah, that'll be good for 3. This is JD's third throw. the camera can't see it, but you probably heard it. It hit the chains and bounced right back out. He's going to have to settle for a 4 on that one. Crispin lines himself up. Goes on the top of the basket. He's hitting either the too low or too high. Matt Hall with his 3. And Ron Silliman will put it in there for his 3. And JD and Crispin will have to settle for 4 on this hole. Alright, now we move on to hole 8, which puts us at right at about 266 feet. Ron's up on the tee box. Hits it hard on another tree. They are just hitting all kinds of trees here. Puts it right into the water. See if JD Ramirez can get it over the creek without knocking it into some trees. And he does a good job. Sends it right over and right into some of the spectators. They're having to move out of the way. Crispin takes his try over and hits a branch, but keeps going. Gets over the creek and sits over there just nice. We didn't get to see Matt's throw, but he made it over the creek as well. Crispin going for his second throw. Puts it up right up there. JD in his second throw. Hits a tree, but I don't think that should be a big deal for JD. Ron throwing it from the drop zone. Matt Hall, this is where his first throw went, so this will be his second throw. Puts it, oh. Trying to get it through that gap to get into the basket, but didn't quite get there. From this angle, looks like JD's having to go through the trees, but maybe not quite go through the trees, but he gets it for that 3. Crispin gets his 3. Ron gets it in there, but with that going into the creek, he's going to have to go with the 4 on this one. Matt Hall puts it in for his 3. We move on to hole 9, which is 310 feet. JD Ramirez and Matt Hall tied up at down 2. Matt gets around without hitting any of them trees. JD trying to figure out which disc he wants to use. Like I said before, JD really likes to take his time, but it really pays off for him in the long run. Takes his throw, going for a roller. Rolls it past any of the trees. It's going to roll back around to give him good birdie distance. Oh, yes, it is. Nice. Oh, bounces right on the cement. Very nice job. Crispin trying to get some of the mud off of his shoes. Like I said before, there were some spots that were very muddy. Nobody wants to be slipping on the tee pads. Everybody seems to be doing a really good job of missing the trees on this one. Bounces over to the left a little bit. Ron takes his shot. Sends it down.
I got a putt.
I think he's got it close enough for a good putt. There's JD's throw. Very nice roller. Crispin with his second throw. Right over the basket. Hits the basket but doesn't go in. Matt, too low. Hits the top of the cage. I think he even knew right as he threw it that he did not do a good throw. Crispin tosses it in for a 3. And after that big birdie miss, Matt will have to go for a 3 as well. JD drops his in for his birdie. Ron does the same but gets a 3. Hole number 10, 286 feet. JD Ramirez still with a 1-stroke lead. 6 strokes over Crispin, who came into this round with a 2-stroke lead. JD puts it out to the right. Matt Hall with the roller. I can't quite... Oh, there it is. And it's still rolling around. Don't know if that was going to be close to the basket or not. I couldn't really tell. Crispin trying to warm up his hands a little bit before he throws. Takes a nice line. Skips hard. Almost a little blinko there. Hitting one tree and bouncing into the other one. Ron hits a tree really hard. Knocks him down. See if Ron could get himself out of this little bit of a predicament. Trying to figure out if he's going to do a forehand or a backhand. Takes it a little bit high, misses the trees, settles down just nice, really nice. JD with his second throw. Not sure if he was going for it or just going to play it safe, but that'll sit nice for a 3. Crispin goes for it and misses. Matt Hall takes a jump. Goes over to the left of the basket, look like. Ron scrambles for a 3. Matt Hall going for his putt and hits the chains hard and still bounces out. JD taps it in for his 3. Matt gets a 4. Crispin takes his 3. Hole 11. Another rather short one at 219 feet. JD on the top of the card. Winds up, takes his throw. Bounces off a tree. Crispin wiping off the mud again. Takes his shot. Clean through. Sputters right there at the end with the tree. Ron lobs it up and smacks into the tree. I know I've been saying that pretty much all the way through, but with all these trees you can see it's going to be happening a lot. Mahal takes his attempt. Looks like it's going to squeak right by without hitting any trees and sit really nice. That'll be good for a birdie. JD with his second throw. Yeah, hits a tree. And that would have been a nice setup for his par, but I don't know what's going to happen now that it hit that tree and rolled back. Ron puts himself up there for a nice 3. Crispin sets himself up. Not quite. JD going for his third attempt. And gets it right in there. Matt Hall took a birdie on that one. This one we're having, there's quite a bit of backup on hole 12. And so everybody's just kind of relaxing and chilling, waiting for hole 12 to get by. And once we hit hole 12, you'll see why there was quite a bit of a wait there. Kyle Wilkes from Tulsa. And this guy decided that he was really tired of waiting. Thought he'd take a little nap. Alright, well the backup finally cleared up for us, and so we're on the hole number 12. And this one is 464 feet. And as you'll see, it's really an actually narrow little alleyway, I guess you'd say. And it's got rocks on the bottom. Some kind of concrete laid out or something. But this one proved to be quite a challenge for quite a few players. JD sends it in the middle, looking good, but hits right into some of them trees. Crispin takes his shot, sends it nice, straight through, but looks like it's heading to the left, right into the thick of them trees. See how Ron takes it. This is one of his courses. So it'll be interesting to see what line he tries to take. He tries it. Oh, I don't think that's what he intended to do. Takes it hard to the right. Hits into some bushes. They're gonna have to work to get that one out. Ron puts it out there in the middle for himself. Matt trying to figure out the best position so he can get himself out of the trees. And gets himself further down, but still mixed up into them trees. Ron with his third throw, and he puts it up there. That should be good for a putt for him. See what I was talking about with all the water? It was pretty muddy. JD's going to take his time and figure out what's going to be the best way to get himself out of there and close to the basket. A little unsure of which way to do it. Well, this is an interesting little pose with this standing on his toes. Still unsure. Nope, not gonna go with that one. Gonna turn around and try a different position. Goes for it. And looks like it works for him. That should be good, comfortable putting for him. Crispin trying to get himself out of the trees. Hits a tree and still stays out there in the clear. Back with Matt Hall. This will be his third throw. Trying to bounce or roll it out there. Looks like it worked pretty good. Crispin with his third throw. Goes for it. Not quite. A little bit short. JD with his third shot at the basket. And puts it in there. Nice three on a fairly difficult hole. Matt Hall hits that cage again. He's doing that a lot in this tournament. Hitting those cages and hitting them too hard or knocking at those cages the wrong way. Disc coming right out. Crispin puts his in for 4. And after struggling to get down there, Matt Hall's going to have to take his 5. We move on to hole 13, which is 207 feet. JD Ramirez creating himself a fairly comfortable lead at 3 strokes ahead. Throws it out there to the right. This is another one that has quite a narrow path as well. Crispin on the left side there, but brings it back up there. That'll be sitting nice for a birdie. Ron takes his try. Hits, oh, right into the tree. That's going to slow it down. Stop it. Matt sends it down there. Nice line. Nice skip up there. That'll be a birdie, no problem. Ron's second throw. Should be able to get it in there. Oh, right off the side of the basket. JD's second throw. And puts it in there for a 2. See if Matt Hall can make sure that he doesn't bounce off the top or the bottom. He puts it in there for his birdie. Crispin sets himself up. gets his second birdie for this round. We move on to hole 14. And with that, we have 339 feet. Last hole, hole 13, everybody got a birdie except Ron. He had a 3. This one as well had a fairly narrow path. Not quite as narrow as the other ones, but still had trees on either side that you have to try to avoid. Just trying to get it straight down there. JD sends it straight down. Nice line. Skips up. Crispin goes a little high. Doesn't quite get the distance and is stopped by some branches. Matt Hall going for the roller. Coming straight at the cameraman. Knocks into a branch that's on the ground. Does a huge skip. Looks like Ron's trying for a roller as well. Oh, gets stopped by the... Looks like, I don't know if that's a fence, but it gets stopped by some branches over there on the right side. Ron takes his throw, sits it up there, nice and pretty. Crispin with his second throw. Crispin getting it up there, it kind of floats over to the left. Manhall takes a run for it. Oh, a little too high. JD Ramirez with his second throw. Get up. Nope, not quite. Crispin going for the putt on this one. And oh, knocks it off the change over the left side. You can see a little bit of frustration there. Matt Hall going for the long putt. This will be his third attempt. He puts it in there. Ron Silliman putting it in there as well. He settles for a 3. JD gets his 3. Crispin will have to take a 4 after missing that putt. Hole 15 puts it at a long 602 feet. JD Ramirez still holding on to that 3-stroke lead. Nice run up. Takes a nice roller. Gets past the trees, keeps rolling. Looks like he gets up over the valley. Now over on the other side is, if I remember correctly, it's got a little bit of a, like a little pond there. Might be just a little valley, but I think it's a pond. Matt Hall takes his throw. Also with the roller. Gets interrupted. Some branches. I imagine without any leaves on these trees, some of them branches maybe you don't think about it, how they're going to get caught up in there, but that gets snagged up real bad in there. Ron takes his throw. Sneaks past all them trees. That should sit comfortable. Crispin looks like that same line that Ron took. Gets up there, does a little bounce at the end, and that should sit nice for Crispin. Matt Hall with his second throw. Tries to get it up there. I think that made it over the little pond. Ron Silliman up and over the pond. A little bit past the basket, but that's well within putting distance. Crispin with his second throw. Over to the left side of that pond. Takes a nice throw and puts it up a little past the basket, but that's definitely in putting distance. JD with his second throw. Gets it over the pond. A little short of the basket. Matt Hall takes it up the hill. Doesn't quite get up there, in a bad roll away. Matt Hall goes again. Misses the basket. A little frustrating kick there from Matt Hall. JD going for his third throw. It's going to be kind of a difficult putting uphill. See if JD can get it in there. And nice putt, JD. Good job. Almost came out maybe the other side, but that basket stopped it and he put it right in there. Ron Silliman with his three. Crispin takes a 4. And Matt puts it in, and he actually takes a 6 on this one. Now on to hole 16. And I believe this is the longest hole we got at 719 feet. Over the pond and over the trees. Ron does the same thing, sends it over the pond and over the trees, trying to just get it out there in the fairway.
Take it. Oh man.
Ron celebrating his throw there. Everybody going high, of course, trying to get it over the trees. Over and around. Can't quite see where Crispin hit on that one. Matt Hall not quite as high as everyone else, and hits a tree and it knocks it down. Matt Hall with his second throw. Oh, very frustrated as he throws it straight into the bushes. That's gotta be frustrating. Ron takes his second throw. JD steps back, take his run at his second throw. There's a nice little roller at the end. Didn't roll. I don't think it rolled back quite like he wanted to. It looks like it's rolling away from the basket, which is not good. Crispin getting himself ready for his throw, but it looks like Matt was the one that was out. Matt goes over the trees and brings it back around. Crispin kneeled down, trying to take a good advantage of trying to use some sit down to get it there, and he gets it there. Ron with his third throw. Gets himself within good putting distance. Crispin with his third throw. Puts himself up there with good comfortable distance for putt. See if JD can do the same.
Shot, baby.
Good up.
Nice up. Very good up. Matt Hall going for it and gets it in there. He's going to have to settle with a 5 on this one. Crispin puts it in for his 4. This will be Ron's 4th throw. Puts it in there for a bogey. JD taps it in there for 4 as well. We move on to hole 17. At the pin A position at 325 feet. JD still with the comfortable lead over the rest of the pack. JD takes a nice clean throw at it. Ron next up on the box. He was well, does a nice clean throw, but a bad roll away. Crispin with his throw. Sits it right up, oh, right up next to the basket. Good job. And Hall takes his throw. Hits a tree and knocks it over to the right of the basket. Ron going for his 2nd throw. And it looks like it's gonna... Oh, man. What a nice birdie job for Ron. Matt Hall takes it and hits the cage. Takes that birdie away from him. JD gets his birdie. Crispin, right up on the basket. Smiles for the camera as he does his birdie. Matt almost spits out the back there, but he gets a 3 on hole 17. Last hole, hole 18, is 519 feet. Goes over a little creek, and just about like with any other hole here, goes through a bunch of trees. Oh, smacks hard right into one of them trees. Ron takes his throw. Takes kind of an outside approach. And I think he gets clean through without hitting one tree.
Down there.
Crispin sends it down, hits the tree. And I almost dare to say hit the same tree that JD hit.
Right on it.
Ron, or Matt Hall, same, and hits it. And ricochets really bad off to the left. JD with his 2nd throw. He's got to play it smart, but he's like I said before, he's got a pretty comfortable lead here, so Lines up, take his throw. Sails nice without hitting any trees. Crispin with his second throw. Sends it down the line. Hits a tree. Ron with his second throw. Hits a tree out there, skips it over. Over to the right. I don't think a little more to the right than I think he would want to be. Matt Hall a little frustrated with the position he's in. Trying to decide which disc to use. Sends it up there. Gets it too high. Up and over the basket. This will be JD's third throw. Hits a tree, bounces over a little bit. Crispin's third throw. Tries to get it up there over around the trees. Did a good job. Sets up right next to the basket. Ron tries to get that three, doesn't quite do it. Puts it right next to the basket. JD on his fourth throw. Takes it up to the basket. Barely touches the chains, but goes past the basket. Not the greatest way you want to end the round, but like I said, he's got a comfortable lead and he should be okay. Matt Hall with his fourth throw. Nice putt. He's going to have to settle for a bogey on this one. And that's your final results for round one and round two together. And JD beats Nico, kind of snuck up there on round two, but still didn't quite catch up with JD, and JD still wins with a 4-stroke lead. A couple other people, Devin Owens and Eric McCabe from card number 2, make it past Ron Silliman, Crispin Carrasco, and Matt Hall.
All right, JD, so you just won the Towne Lake Pro-Am here out in McKinney, Texas. Take us through kind of your second round there.
It was, from, throwing the long tee boxes, and I figured, I played out here enough, so I figured, if I can get to maybe 3 or 4 down with hole 15 through 18 left, then I had room. That's enough room to, you can make some mistakes and still finish, if you finish under par, at, under 54, then that's a good round, really good round, because it's probably like a par 58.
So with this course, did you have to make any kind of adjustments to your regular game, or stick with
the whole week has been kind of you know, it's muddy out here, so I've had to kind of shorten up my run up a little bit and just not throw hard, but try to put a little snap, a lot more spin on my disc than usual, and just to get more distance out of them. And it's worked out good. You know, if I normally throw a rock on a certain shot, then I might throw like a leopard or a T-bird, you know, and less effort yet get the distance. So, and my putting, you know, I don't play too good in the cold weather. You know, I don't, and I missed some putts like everyone did, I'm sure, but you know, I made my fair share, so to hang in there. So.
All right. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.